before my party. So I'm going to do like a mock party, so that's going to make me feel a little bit more comfortable just looking at my four companions here. But what I do beforehand, as guests are coming in, I always offer an optic scarf. Oh, you have glasses on? Or if it was raining or something, oh, here, wipe your glasses. Oh, it's also really good for your phone. It's going to take that bacteria off. If the next person that comes in, pass it along to them, tell them about it. So this will be going around. Also, I do lotion, body balm, pass that around. Some people don't like the way microfiber feels. So this kind of coats their hands. They can get the different scents. A lot of times I do have somebody purchase these items because they're doing them beforehand. And then our toilet spray, I always say 2 pumps before you go. Nobody has to know, and I let them know how bad the poopery is. It has formaldehyde in it. A lot of people don't know that. If they go into EWG, it is rated F. So I'm passing this around. What I also have on a table is I have a little basket I put the host rewards in something like this. And I have a basket out, and I usually do the $7.50 range with up to 10 buying guests, because that's an average party for me usually. And so I have everything in there so they can kind of see it, and it's a way for me to have my little bags and everything like that. So this is the December rewards. If I don't have the exact color of something, like I don't have the greenness, I just put something in it. So it doesn't have to be the exact thing, just give them an idea. Okay, so that's happening beforehand, so now we will start the party. So I just want to take a moment. I'm so glad you guys came. How many of you guys have heard about Norwex before? Oh, a few. Okay, I love to have a mix. So we're going to have a lot of fun, as some of you know, and some of you guys are just going to be in for a real education and a real treat. We're going to learn a lot of new things today. So Linda, thanks so much for hosting. Really appreciate you opening up your home, and I know it took a lot to get everybody here, and we just want to have fun. So I want to do a little gift just right off the start, because I really do appreciate my host, and so I always like to start off giving them a little gift. So we'll enjoy that. You're welcome. So after we get started, Linda really loved the products, and she just really wanted to introduce them to you. And so when we get started, you're going to really want everything. So when you find that you're in that dilemma, you're going to want to do what Linda did. Have your girlfriends over, you're going to want to share it. So you want to be the cool kid on the block, right? So that's, just keep that in the back of your mind that this is something you can do, and I really make it hit the easy button. As you saw, Linda just sent you a quick little invite, and here you are. All right, so we're going to talk about the Norwex mission. So Norwex, anyone knows what Norwex means? It means the Norwegian experience. We started 25 years ago in Norway, and we are actually a debt-free company, and many companies cannot say that. Usually that's why things are called Black Friday, because they're in the red until Black Friday. So they're all year long, they're not doing it. Or we are a debt-free company, so that's really impressive. And I just want to talk about our mission. We are really dedicated to improving quality of life by greatly reducing the amount of chemicals that we use in our home. So that's what we're going to get the education on today. So let's talk about some statistics and why that mission is so important to get those chemicals out of our home and start living a more clean, healthy lifestyle. But first, we have a little PSA from our sponsors. I think you are number one, Linda. So what I do is, to get encouragement, I pass around some facts, and I tell them in their announcer voice or radio voice to say a little something. So it kind of breaks the ice.
Did you know the average household contains about 62 toxic chemicals?
So the average household, 62 toxic chemicals, really? That's a lot. So let's talk about how we can get rid of those and just what all we see in that. So in the last 50 years, since the late 60s, over 86,000 chemicals have been introduced into our society, with only about 250 of those being tested on our long-term health. That's a staggering statistic. And what have we really seen on the increase since then? We have seen the rise in cancer. 1 in 3 people now have cancer. ADD, ADHD. How often did we hear of those 30 years ago? We didn't. Infertility, autism, asthma. So we see all these things have clearly been on an increase. Back before the late 1960s, what were people cleaning with? Not all of these chemicals. So we can really see that there must be a direct correlation to the chemicals that we're seeing on the shelves every day and what we're bringing into our home. There's 3 ways that we take in chemicals. We inhale them, we eat them with our fruits and veggies if they're not cleaned properly, and also the absorption through our skin. It only takes them 28 seconds for things to be absorbed into our skin, into our bloodstream. So everything that we're using going into our skin, we're absorbing that. So we're all carrying something called a body burden. And so the amount of chemicals that are already in our body, and even with children, we think that they haven't been exposed to as many chemicals, but they're already being tested to have 200 chemicals in their cord blood before they're even been exposed. So it's really, that just shows how we are really ingesting these things. So when we're thinking about cleaning, and what we're cleaning with, do we want to be ingesting these things? Do we want to be eating these things? So that's how we're going to talk about to get rid of those, and we're going to introduce Norwex. So Norwex offers the solution to all of that and eliminating that out of our home. So the average household spends between $600 to $800 a year on cleaning products. I'm going to show you the Safe 5. It is $99. So instead of spending $600 to $800 a year, it's only $99. That's all it's going to cost you to get rid of all of that. We're going to be able to clean 90% of our home with that. And we have another PSA from our sponsor.
Did you know that 51,000 plus trees are cut down daily for North America's paper towel habit?
Thank you. 51,000 trees. That's insane. Think about it. We go to Costco, we buy a big thing of paper towels. All of that's going into our landfills. How much money is just going out the drain, right? We're just throwing that money away, so we definitely want to reduce that. So I'm going to introduce our first two products of the Safe 5. It's going to be our Enviro Cloth and our window cloth. So with these two products, you are going to be able to clean so much, it's going to save so much time, it's going to blow you away. So you might be familiar with microfiber. Microfiber needs to be 1/60 split of a human hair that's federally regulated. So what is different about Norwex microfiber? Ours is a minimum of 1/200. And what I do at this point is I usually have all the products and I'll pass it around so they can feel the difference and see the difference. So with our microfiber, it is a minimum of 1/200 the split of a human hair. So this little cloth right here will go all the way from Canada down to the Gulf of Mexico. 1,800 miles of fabric in this one cloth. So we can see that's like 200 little fingers just going at it and cleaning everything up off the surface. So it's going to be removing all the bacteria and grime off the surface. The other thing that makes ours unique is it has something called backdrop technology. Now what that is microsilver is embedded in the cloth. And what microsilver is a natural antimicrobial. And what that means, do you ever get those stinky, smelly cloths? Oh, it's awful. You feel like after you use one every day, you have to clean it. You can't just keep using it over and over because it gets so stinky. Well, by having the microsilver, since it's a natural antimicrobial, what it is, it goes to work and it doesn't allow the moldy mildew to grow within the cloth. It's self-purifying the cloth. So after we're done using our Enviro cloth, we can rinse it really good, hang it to dry in its little trusty tag, and everything is always labeled and has a tag. And within 24 hours, it's able to be used again. And the reason why hanging it is so important is after we're done using it, all that oxygen gets to flow through here, and so it allows that microsilver to do its job and self-purify the cloth. And I pair it with our window cloth. So these are some of our microfiber cloths. When I explain our microfiber, it's going to cover everything about how all of our microfiber works in the catalog. And I'll hand this out afterwards. So, let's see what these do. Oh, and the last thing is 2-year warranty on everything. So all of our microfiber has a 2-year warranty. When's the last time you bought a cleaning rag that had a 2-year warranty? Yeah, you can't really say that. So let's get to the fun. Let's get to the action. So what we're going to do is we're going to see how well it cleans your mirrors. How many of us have mirrors that are just, it seems like we always get stuff on them and they're just hard. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take some balm here and we're going to make a mess. So Linda had said Marisa had said about 51,000 towels. How many of us throw these away like crazy? Paper towels, right? So, and use something like a Windex. How many, do you guys use a Windex or paper towels? So I think every time we pick these up, we're putting them into the landfills. Also, when we're spraying this, we're filling our lungs up with this. Sometimes it even makes us cough, doesn't it, when we use something like this? So, and this is also going into the landfill. So just by reducing these two things alone, by using these two products, you're already saving time and money. So let's just see how well something like this works versus our Norwex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray our Windex on here. over again, right? So I'm gonna take our Norwex, and this is our EnviroCloth, our E for everything cloth. So when you pass this around, it has a little tag on it, E for EnviroCloth, so you just think it's gonna go ahead and take everything off, and I'm going to remove what's on the surface here. It's best if we fold it flat, because that way when it's flat, rather than bunched up, we have a flat surface so it can do its job and pick everything up. I call these the peanut butter and jelly. I don't use one without the other, so when I'm cleaning, I always have my window cloth, which is also labeled, says window on my shoulder, and I have this in my hand. And this is just a little bit damp. So I've wrung it out. It's not gonna be dripping wet or anything, just a little bit damp. You're gonna see how it picks up all of that off. Do you see how easy it's just picking it up? So it picked it up. I just flip that over, and now I'm gonna take my window cloth, and I'm gonna dry. How quick did that happen? Streak free, a few seconds. Aren't you excited? Can you imagine how much time it's gonna save you? Now, if we have children, would you want to give them the Windex and say, help mommy clean? No, because we know it's a chemical. Now they believe in child labor. I say, here, help mommy clean. Go ahead, hand them these and let them go to town, right? Another product that we also might be very familiar with, and we see it's on the #1 product on our children's school list, is something called wipes, disinfectant wipes. Now they do say disinfectant wipes, and these sanitize, they disinfect, and it even says it kills. Now when I have mentioned my microfiber, I haven't used any of those words. I have said remove. So I'm doing a mechanical clean versus a chemical clean. When I'm doing a chemical clean, whatever product I'm using is still going to stay on the surface. Whereas when I'm using just my water and microfiber, there's nothing left on the surface. It's removing anything off the surface. But has anybody ever read the back of this to know how it kills the 99.9% of viruses and bacteria? So let's just look at the back of this for a minute. Since we're all familiar with it, we all use it. It says that we must wear it using gloves. How many of us use it wearing gloves? It also says in order to kill and do that we need to let the surface remain visibly wet for 4 minutes. We need to use enough product to have the surface visibly wet for 4 minutes. How many of you have done that? No. Also, it says it's a pesticide, it's hazardous to children, keep away from children, and to pets. And if we're using it around food, then we're supposed to take water and wipe it up. How many of us have done that? So whenever we use this and we've cleaned maybe a kid's toy or anything, have we ever removed it again with water or cleaned it? No. So when our kids take that and put it into their mouth, what's happening? They're eating a chemical. So now we kind of see why things are going, skyrocketing as far as the cancers and ADHD and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a demo called the Glow Germ demo. And I take Glow Germ, and what this is, I get this on Amazon. This is not a Norwex product, and I am going to put it on here. And they teach this, they use this in school to teach kids how to clean their hands properly. You're going to see that it glows. So I take my flashlight, and you see that it's glowing. And I'm going to need a volunteer because it's kind of hard for me to hold this and wipe. So do I have a volunteer? All right. Thank you, Deanna. So I'm going to take one of these, and at this point, well, I'll get that to in a minute. So I put on a glove because I don't want to touch the chemical because it says, it is a pesticide. And if we were actually just put all of our chemicals out next to our doorstep, it's hazmat material. They can't just take it. Wow. So here we have that in our homes, and we think nothing uses it. So that's why it's so important that we actually make sure that we are using it properly. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to clean it up with this. And what do we see happening? Yeah, we see that it's just smearing. And look what's happened. It's went right through, straight onto my skin. So now if I touch my face, what's happening? Whatever bacteria I've just picked up, I'm now putting even on my face or whatever I touch. So now we see why kids get so sick, because at schools they're using this, they go from desk to desk. Do you think they're using a new Clorox wipe for every desk? No, they are not. So I'm going to take my damp EnviroCloth, and it's just one side. What do we see? It's gone. Yeah, it automatically just moves it off. It just water and microfiber. Now if I were to take this again, what happens?
Redeposit it.
It puts it right back on. But yet again, we can see that it's on my cloth. But when I do this, it picks it right up. It stays within the cloth. It doesn't transfer out of the cloth. So now, do you want to take these with you if you're on an airplane or if you're at a restaurant or anything? And plus disposable, something, a consumable we're always going to have to buy? No, you'd rather have something like this, right? Just this item. So can you already think about all the products that you can clean using just these 2 items and everything that you're going to get rid of? So these 2 cloths, most of my hostess always get these for free. So when they host and have friends over just like you're seeing, and I was kind of blown away by what we've already saw in just by 2 products. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. But we're going to have another PSA. This is our 3rd PSA. We're going to have another PSA because we kind of need a little break.
Did you know dust mites may be the most common trigger of the year-round allergies and asthma?
Oh, dust mites. So has anybody ever really thought about dust? How many of us like to dust? Like to dust. Oh, so you kind of put like your favorite like tune on and just go, all right, well I have some that just make you love it even more. So yeah. So dust mites. Have we ever thought about what all is in our dust? I say that they're little carrier ships of toxins, like those little dust bunnies. Those are basically the DNA of our home. Everything that's in those little dust bunnies. So they have hair, skin, pollen, dog hair, bacteria, fungus, viruses, insect remains, obviously dust mites, feces, the chemicals, and pesticides. Just think about whatever we're carrying into our home, that's all getting into that. Whatever chemical we're using, that's also going to be in that. So we really it's really important to get rid of that dust. So introduce the 3rd product in our Safe Haven 5 set, our dust mitt. And you're going to feel, as I pass this around, you're going to feel that it's very plush. It's kind of fun. And I say, what's better than 1? We actually say 2. But with our dust mitt, what it's meant to do is really attract and hold on to the dust. When we're using Swiffers or if we're using a Pledge, we're really putting that dust up into the air and it comes back down. You ever leave your home and you come back and it's like dust again in 2 hours? You're like, what happened? I just dusted, right? That's because the product that we're using, the chemicals that we're using, are actually attracting and drawing that dust back to its surface. So that's why we're seeing it come back. We're not really getting rid of the dust, it's attracting it. It's kind of like if we ever have a spot on our carpet and we clean it and a week later that spot's back. It's because you cleaned that spot, but that chemical is what is attracting that back. So with our dust mitt, this is a positive charge, whereas dust is a negative charge. So this is really going to attract and hold onto that dust. So we can use this in all different things. I use it on our TV screens. You can mist it a little bit if you want and do your screens, inside and outside of your screens, especially during pollen season, chandeliers. And one of my favorite little life hacks is I throw it in my beach bag and it will remove the sand off of you before you get back into your car. So I hate sand, so I love that. So we're going to put this to the test too. I'm going to show you how well this works. I say I like to make it a little frisky, so I'm going to use a little bit of some action to it, give it a little bit of static. So what I do is I rub it together really well like this. I use mine dry, but again, you can mist it a little bit if you'd like. This also has the back lock in it, so once we get it wet, it will activate that microsilver. So I'm going to put a little cocoa powder on here. And this is just a good visual for you guys because it's easy for you to see the cocoa powder on there. And I'm going to take this. Do you see how easy it cleaned that up? And we see that it's on here, and even if I do this, it does not come out. It stays within my mitt. So it's not going everywhere or flying into the air. A lot of times when we see those Swiffers and everything, we see that, you know, if a light stream hits it, we see that's going there. Just by using this, it doesn't. So it just is picking up. So we are slowly removing all of that dust from our home. And also afterwards, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're gonna have less and less dust. We're gonna have to dust less often. So how nice is that? Less work. So again, saving us time. So after I'm done with this, if mine looks like maybe a little mini chihuahua because I've gotten so much dust, I might take my little handy brush, I can put this into the garbage, I can vacuum this off, or maybe, you know, somebody's really maybe upset during the day and I have some aggression, I might just take it outside and just whack the heck out of it. And it will take it off. So those are the things that I do. That's how I clean my dust mitt. But again, you can see how well it cleans and how easy. So now you might be wondering, how do I take care of these products? You know, they do all this miraculous things and they're special, so how do I clean these products? Well, we have Norwex laundry detergent,
And our laundry detergent is like top of the line on the market. Anybody use a free and clear laundry detergent? Yeah, are you happy with it? Kind of. And if we're not using a free and clear, a lot of times they still might have fillers and different things in there. It's really good to look on the EWG site to see really where the rating is. But if we're using like a Tide or something, one thing that we don't think about with the laundry detergent that we're using, whatever chemicals are in the Tide that goes into our clothes, we're absorbing that all day long. Is there ever a time, and so you might say, well, I sleep in the nude. That's not all day. Your sheets have been in the wash. So no, all day long we are absorbing whatever we've cleaned with. So we're still not even getting rid of those chemicals if we're using a Tide or something. So it's just something to think about. But what makes ours so good is it is highly concentrated, but it is free of phosphates, SLS, SLES, chlorine bleach, fillers, optical brighteners. We do no animal testing, and it's free of dyes and fragrances. So it doesn't have any of that, and it cleans like you would not believe. So just a teaspoon in an HE machine will do a full load of laundry. So 200 loads of laundry for this bag right here. So it's extremely economical, and it gets rid of all odors, and it's really amazing. You could also use this as an everyday cleaner. I might go ahead and just dilute a little bit in a spray bottle. I can use it as an everyday cleaner. I use it to clean my carpets, my makeup brushes, you know, the hood vents that get all greasy. I can take those out, dilute a little bit of this in some water, put it in my sink, and it just gets all of that grease right off. So there's multiple uses. So when we are cleaning our microfiber, we want to make sure we're using a free and clear detergent, that we're not gonna gunk up our fibers. We want to make sure, and we're not going to use any, clean with any linty items, no fabric softeners, and no dryer sheets, because we don't want to coat our cloths. So they do need a little bit of special care, but once you use this, you're never going to go back. So this is the 4th product in our Safe 5. So our